Happy Friday, everyone. I'm Laura Ingraham. This is Ingraham Angle from Washington tonight. America's mugshot. That's the focus of tonight's angle. All right, the media lemmings, one after another, have been busy jumping off the rock ledges of the last 24 hours, now barely able to contain their triumphant spirits when the Trump mugshot was released.
A picture that will live in infamy. The first mugshot of an American president splashed across the front pages this morning. And while that picture does mark a historic inflection point, former President Trump's legal saga is really just beginning.
Convicted of being put behind bars. Of course, we know that's Trump's greatest fear.
Trump's primal fear of just this, being held criminally accountable, terrified of what Chris Christie describes as the clink of a jail cell.
The clink of champagne glasses over at CNN. Or MSNBC. Now, like all the left's choices, this decision by DA Fani Willis to force a former president of the United States to get a mugshot last night was totally unnecessary. It has backfired spectacularly. I love it. Everyday Americans see this farce for what it is. It's one more chapter in a 4-year vendetta against Donald Trump. And Trump himself is using their Soviet-style persecution to his political advantage. He not only posted the mugshot on his Truth Social account, he shared it on X, formerly known as Twitter. It was his first post there since January 8th, 2021. And the hyperventilating blowhards on MSNBC, obviously they're frustrated by this. They're relegated to lame historical parallels, and they're as understated as usual.
There's an appeal to running, if you're Donald Trump, to running for president as the outlaw president. It would be the Jesse James strategy. They would take that photograph and they would make it up. They would wear it like a badge of honor. Bad guys as heroic. You laugh at that because Jesse James was an actual hardened criminal who killed people without any apparent fear of being grabbed.
Well, the truth is, these nattering ninnies can't see past their own self-righteousness. And in the fog created by their own hot air, they're missing real America. I think most fair-minded people see this spectacle for what it is. It's the ultimate in election tampering by the far left. A politically ambitious local prosecutor and a supporter of Kamala Harris who believes that prosecuting Trump puts her on a fast track to the governor's mansion. So this hounding of Trump, from Robert Mueller to Jack Smith to Alvin Bragg and now Willis, has never been about justice. It's about political revenge and a warning. In a way, Trump's seething and the mugshot kind of captures what many Americans are feeling these days as well. Because they too are seething. Because whether it's the economy, crime, or natural disasters, the government seems to either make things worse or not care at all, like in Maui.
Today, I haven't had any money come in. I haven't had anybody call me back. I didn't have anything. I have no idea. I lost my house. I lost my car. I lost my animals. I mean, come on, man. We're not getting anything. Till today, I still didn't get my meds. I cannot get my meds yet. I have no money anymore. I think Joe Biden should take his $700 and get back on the plane and go home. That's what I think. Because $700 compared to all the millions he's giving to Ukraine, why? We need it. That's why we don't understand why. We're citizens and we cannot get money. But if they're not citizens, they get gazillions of dollars from the USA. Fix your house before you fix somebody else's house.
And they're mad about the cost of living.
Everything is just literally through the roof.
I'm middle class and I am concerned about the inflation.
It's not just food that's going up, everything's going up.
It's going up and it's getting worse, and I think everybody's getting a hit with that.
And they're mad because Biden seems callous, even when speaking to Gold Star moms.
How many more parents have to go through this nightmare if we don't do anything with this administration?
We deserve the truth. We deserved it 2 years ago, and we definitely deserve it today.
So the public's anger toward the establishment is growing faster than they anticipated. And it's not just against the White House either. When he was at that annual Fancy Farm picnic earlier this month in Kentucky, Did Mitch McConnell really think that he'd be greeted like this? I love how he stood there frozen, smiling. The Democrats for decades have taken the urban and the minority vote for granted, but they're running into anger there as well. It turns out that city dwellers are just as outraged about crime as anyone else.
I'm more cautious. I'm probably not out as late anymore or always looking behind me and things like that, unfortunately.
Others have just decided to leave their crime-ridden cities.
The hood is waking up. I used to live in Atlanta for a majority of my life. Grew up there. One of the reasons I left and came out to the country is because of how these liberal cities are ran. Atlanta has gone downhill bad. This is a problem for the Democrats.
So the fury, it's building. And it's also amazing to me that corporate America, with all their fancy, high-paid consultants, couldn't see all this coming. Now, some moron at Anheuser-Busch actually thought that the beer-drinking public would be okay with their little branding experiment with a trans activist.
I really didn't want to make this video because I feel embarrassed, but I'm just going to do it. Day 17 of being a girl, and I am the bearded lady. Ah!
Well, consumers had the last laugh, didn't they? And they let them have it. Bud Light will probably never recover. It's totally clueless of them. Now, sadly, most big companies are no better than big government. The sales team at Target, they didn't know what hit them when parents responded with boycotts after Target unveiled their gender nonconforming marketing blitz. It's like the lefties dominating school boards as well. They weren't ready for the moms and dads who are rising up against their perverted curricula.
I'm a parent. Those kids are mine, not the schools, not the states. They are my kids. And I have the moral duty and legal right to shape my kids' future.
So establishment politicians, weak-kneed CEOs, leftist educrats, they're all underestimating the power of the silent majority who are fed up, frustrated, and feeling like the way Trump looks in that mugshot. They're very, very angry. So while the left kind of revels in what they see as Trump's mugshot humiliation, they're missing the building wave of fury that's bearing down on them. And that's the angle. Joining me now is Florida Congressman Byron Donalds of the House Oversight Committee and Ben Domenech, editor-at-large of The Spectator and Fox News contributor. Congressman, I think this is in the process of backfiring on the Democrats. They really did think that trying to humiliate Trump in Fulton County would be just one more nail in his coffin, his political coffin. I don't see it.
Neither do I, Laura. I think what people are looking at is that the system run by the Democrats, the justice system run by the Democrats, is being wielded for pure politics, just so they can get their proverbial scratch itched. It's ridiculous, and frankly, it's destructive of our country. Meanwhile, all the things that are going on in America that are affecting poor Americans, middle-income Americans, white Americans, black Americans, etc., is being ignored, and the press covers it up. This is going to backfire in a major way because Americans want our country to function. They don't want it to be used as a political weapon against political rivals.
Now, Ben, you made some of these great points on my podcast this week, but I want to reiterate something here. Once in a while, even one of the reporters at the other networks gets a light bulb. Watch this.
This primary electorate really wants someone who they feel is fighting for them. They want someone who is flexing their muscles and showing that in fundraising, in fighting the establishment, even though the establishment here is the criminal justice system.
That's a CNN political reporter actually seeing what the GOP electorate wants to see.
He's a lot better than that trash analyst, John Heilman, who you made me watch more than I've had to see in many years. No, I accept your apology. Look, they have run into something, I think, here that they have completely underestimated, which is they have devoted so much of their time to trying to go after the former president that they have failed to have any kind of agenda that was promised by them in the 2020 election. Anything that would actually satisfy the demands of working people across this country, the demands of the middle class. They've treated the failure of the Inflation Reduction Act as if it was something that was just, a speed bump, something along the road to just inevitable re-election. When in reality, what they've done is taken their eye off the ball, and now they're trying to make up for it by saying, well, you can't re-elect this guy because he's so dangerous. He's so dangerous to, democracy and the Constitution and the like. But when people see something like this, I think it makes things very real for them. The idea of looking at an image, a mugshot of a former president, it's kind of disgusting in a way that I think that will actually lead to a backlash, a serious backlash against the Democrats who have pursued this. No one wants to see this. They don't think that it's the right thing to do to any former president. Republicans didn't go after Bill Clinton, after he left office. We didn't see the kind of, going after George W. Bush, over, Iraq war crimes or whatever you wanted to suggest. The same with Barack Obama. And now Donald Trump gets this kind of treatment. This may be the first mugshot that we have of a former president, but they're setting it up so it won't be the last. And that's the thing that I think they're underestimating about this whole scenario. They have opened up a Pandora's box, and they don't know what's going to come next.
Yeah, I don't think they do know. And Congressman Donalds, I specifically wanted to say the mugshot itself mirrors the mood of the public, because I'm sensing it across ethnicities, racial lines, and African-American men. After telling them for years that the justice system is corrupt and crooked, they're looking at this, in some of the videos we've seen today and featured, they're looking at some of this going, whoa, 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 whoa. Now they're targeting him. Do you see that, or am I overstating it?
No, you're absolutely right, Laura. That's what's happening. And look, Americans are pissed off. You're talking about a government, a Department of Justice that ignores the crimes of the president's son and, frankly, the president himself. They ignore those crimes. There's no investigation. There's no serious effort by the Department of Justice or the FBI to get to the bottom of that. Meanwhile, they're going after the chief political rival. That is unfairness to the nth degree. And all that is happening with the backdrop of an America that is failing around us. Border policy, inflation, fentanyl on our streets, questioning the gender of children. That is something that speaks, frankly, to all men, not just black men, because we just want the country to function. And this foolishness by the Democrats, they're going to rue the day that they wasted all of our time with this, because I believe there will be a backlash.
Yeah, I don't like the phrase pissed off, but it really does apply here to the way most people are feeling about what they're seeing around them. Congressman Ben, thank you so much.